Welcome, everyone. We are just thrilled that you're joining us for this year's virtual conference, and we have a fantastic lineup over the next 2 days. Hello, my name is Amy McWhorter, and I'll be your official host as we explore rich information and hear from very knowledgeable speakers who will break down what it means to revolutionize the way knowledge is captured, shared, and reused.
Essentially, though, the way we talk about knowledgeware when we're introducing it to new people is we say it's like the transition from paper maps to navigation. Paper maps being a metaphor for the documents of knowledge that we put into a virtual database or in a virtual library system. You know, it's copied, it's out of date, it's everything a person could possibly want. The lines and arcs on the map are just lines and arcs. They really don't convey information other than visually, right? You can't do anything. You can't say someone's traveling on a road. But when we get into navigation, the difference is that the information itself has been changed. It's been put into units of know-how or units of knowledge that are provisioned. So I'm only seeing the map parts that are specific to where I am. And there's insights overlaid on top of that, like traffic and navigation, because the navigation system is collecting information from everybody else who's driving on that part of the road. This is an entirely different user experience and one that is universally accepted as being better than maps.
So for us at Navistar, when we started this back in 2013, we started to get our arms around all of the documentation and the knowledge that we thought we had in the organization. And we initially made a division between what we called passive versus active knowledge. Active knowledge was all of the design practices we've been talking about that we were getting captured in Oros. But passive knowledge was more so like a test procedure or a work instruction or a process document, maybe a material spec, that sort of thing. And that was the kind of material that we thought, oh, that's totally different. That goes in Oracle system. It ended up being an Oracle Web Center content. We called it a filing cabinet, and it had different search capabilities inside of it. So what we found over time was that Oros is not a document management system, but in the interest of expanding the overall knowledge maturity process at Navistar, we had a number of different teams who were writing KPACs in Oros that would then hyperlink to these documents in another system. The hyperlinks would break. We'd have people writing KPACs that would reference, I need to meet this material spec, but it wasn't one for one, and it was kind of messy. And of course, in the other system, we didn't have any of the other cool Oros capabilities like push and pull and comments, easy to apply metadata, vitality, communities of practice, local ownership of the knowledge. You get the idea, right? So it took a while, but we went through 4,200 different Word documents, PDFs, Excel documents, and so on. Did a sort of a lean 5S on the material, got it down to what we thought we needed, and then parceled out the ownership inside a new communities of practice inside of Oros. And now that's then become the second IT system that we have decommissioned, which was, like I mentioned, an Oracle Web Center content that is no longer running for us. All of that knowledge is managed in Oros.
Outside of the source application, which is very beneficial in a lot of cases, especially where licensing could be an issue of having people be able to get into these source applications to extract that data. So that could all be available offline inside of Oros.
Like we said, we have 3 systems that have been decommissioned. We have 32 distinct workflows. And just to talk a little bit about, the arc of implementing the knowledge-aware technique and kind of how this works. We've done 15 seed projects that we've gotten to completion in 2020 alone. So of our 32 distinct workflows, they started to grow, and in the last 12 months, I guess it's not even 12, right? In the last 9 or 10 months, we've done 15 seed projects and onboarded 15 new workflows to get to this distinct number of 32. So we're certainly on the trajectory where we're trying to get to enterprise capability. We can probably have some debates about whether we're there, whether we're not there, but we are seeing the way that we manage our knowledge, the way that we capture, share, and reuse that knowledge. We're seeing it transform as we continue to go, down this road of knowledge aware.
And right now it's the right time to start with the certification program. And this one will enable you and will help you, in the shortest amount of time to be value to the organization, to help to answer the most questions, we built up over the years, and really to be a value to the organization, transform your organization. And therefore we came up, with the idea of a certification.
So the knowledge aware certification. So what I like to say here is we want to develop certifications so that you can become a change agent within your company and that you'll be the recognized expert in the aerospace between the process. So the process, the knowledge flows, the knowledge delivery and provisioning mechanisms, being able to work with tools like what Synaqua or what Aros provides, being able to be the champion for your process in combination with these tools is what we're looking to do.
The ABS rules are at the core of our business, and we're excited to be working with Oros to offer a tool that makes it easier for shipyards, designers, and other stakeholders to manage the ABS rules. We can have the ABS rules, along with other requirements, put in a tool that actively delivers the right information to engineers and designers when they need it as they work. As a result, teams will be able to work more efficiently, eliminating the need to look for technical know-how and standards, and always work to the most up-to-date rules and requirements.
Since 2010, we've had an 800% increase in the number of K-PACs. We've had a 230% increase in active users. We've decommissioned 9 systems to move to Oros, and this would be from Excel or SharePoint or some other kind of software base. And we have over 30 product and manufacturing workflows. This is actually our seat warranty data, as you can see, based from 2014 till today. So you can see our trend is down. And then another thing is we also have J.D. Power IQS scores. And if you can see that the orange line here in the chart is seats in memory and restraints. They're all sort of grouped together. But when we separate out seats itself, that's the blue line, and you can see that in the latest J.D. Power IQS score, the General Motors seating group, or General Motors seating in the industry, is number 1. So even though that Oros is not our only initiative within seats since 2010, it has been a major contributor to us reducing that warranty, reducing repeat defects, and minimizing customer-facing issues. So we're really excited about more stuff going into Oros, and I think it really does streamline the whole knowledge delivery and makes it much easier for the end user.
We chose Oros because, frankly, I didn't see anything else out there that was like it, that was offering it. Primarily, the only other kinds of options that we see were things that we had already done previously, and most everybody else had done in this space is just simple lookup tables. So they had some kind of database in the background, just doing simple query and lookup. And from the simplest value table perspective, that's what those are, right? But the ability to do them with logic inside them is one of the beauties of the KPAC and the value table.
Well, thank you guys very much for participating. It looks like Daryl, congratulations. You won
Thank you.
the competition for 2020.
Well done, Daryl.
Thank you. Good job.
Congrats.
I think each presentation revealed a bit of a different dimension of knowledge aware, and seen as a whole, it kind of paints that big and expanding picture that I hope people got out of this conference. Jeff Mayhew did a good job of sharing the KM maturity model and Navistar's journey towards a robust knowledge operating system. He also showed, a solid, the Navistar had how a solid vision like the gold source of knowledge can drive a large organization to change towards a knowledge-aware vision. Josh from Oros Knowledge System explained how, how a relatively small company like Oros can leverage knowledge-aware and knowledge-enable almost every process that we have. Dan Cronin revealed ABS's vision for the digital distribution of regulatory standards and the potential efficiency that can be gained with the digitization of standards and the propagation and integration into model-based environments. Nicole described GM's enterprise-wide journey for knowledge aware and used the maturity model as a yardstick, similar to the way Jeff did. and gave very specific evidence of value achieved in applying knowledge-aware concepts for seed engineering and peer review at GM. Darwin, wow. Darwin provided, in-depth expertise and a view on how Spirit Aerosystems is approaching automated work instructions. He did a great job of laying out the challenges that are involved and the value potential in solving those complex problems. Darwin has this expertise, in knowledge representation, and that domain was specifically helpful to me. So again, I think the quality of presentation was very high and uniform across all the presenters, and I want to personally thank them for presenting at the conference.